Hi everybody and welcome back to the Gentleman's Talk. I'm back. I am super conscious and I have been reminded that I have been away for a little while. No easy way of saying it. I'm in a fucking weird place at the moment. I really have been in a weird place. Almost to the point where I'm openly speaking about my mental health to try and put something on it. I've been fucking going. It's almost like, how do I describe it? Like everything's a mess at the moment in my head. It's really weird. It's like everywhere is super stressing me out, and I don't know why. It's not even a feeling I've felt before. I'm just super stressed out. Really, consciously, outwardly spoken, stressed out. It's been a bit crazy. It's been wild, to say the least. But I've been wanting to come on. I actually have, and I've needed to because, to be perfectly honest, I'm out of sync. I'm not functioning. I'm not firing on all cylinders. Oh, sorry about that. That's me. It's me phone. I just dropped it. So yeah, I've not been firing on all cylinders, and it's been a bit of an obscure one. Like I said, I've not really been able to pinpoint it, but I've almost gone into this really stressed place, like hyper focusing on doing stuff, and I've sort of kind of. I've had this fixation with my daughter's room, and I want to basically quickly add some ad lib to that. In the sense, I wanted to make it the perfect home for her because of obviously what's been going on, and for me, I wanted to. I don't know whether it's felt homely for her. I really don't, and I wanted a fresh start for her. I wanted to, I wanted to give her something new. I wanted to, and something that felt fresh, felt clean. So, and it's been in the back of my mind exactly what I wanted to do. And I genuinely mean, like, I've gone into every single room in the house, and I've systematically planned how I want it to look. Now, some might say, well, that's a very one-sided opinion, James. and you would be 100% right. And what I will sort of underpin that with is going to sound really arrogant, but I'm very, very, very confident in my ability to make something nice. I don't know what it is. I'm going to call it, for the first time ever, a bit of a gift, actually. I know what looks nice, and I know how to make it look nice. And I've said this so many times, even when we've been out shopping and bought my kids some clothes and stuff like that, and I've gone, no, buy this, and I've had a debate with my wife, and I've sat there and I've kind of gone, she's turned around to me and gone, no, this is what they like. No, I know Tegan, or I know Ellie, whatever. And I've sat there and gone, okay, that's fine. I would pick this for Tegan, I would pick this for Ellie, and I'd pick this for, Adele. And they're my three daughters. And every time I've done this, whether it's been some sort of decor in their room, whether it's been some sort of clothing or some sort of style of trainer, whatever it'll be, I'm so confident that 100% of the time I've been right, and you have to take into consideration that there's no bias in my family, in the sense that you would turn around and go, well, they're going to say that because you're dad, no, it's not actually. It's completely the opposite. I'm basically, because of my mental health fucking craziness, which I'm going to talk about today, because of my mental health craziness. I'm not the popular one in the house, and then you could also argue the fact, well, they're just doing it to appease you. No, because there's genuine emotion involved in it, and even when Zoe, my wife, has said something to them, and said, afterwards, like, do you really mean that, or are you just saying that for him? They were like, they would be open and honest. That's one of the things that, irrelevant of how we raise our children, we've had this absolutely nailed, and it seems to work really, really well. Really, really, really well, actually. That I don't get involved in the day-to-day running of kids. And people, I do the protection factor for me. That's what I like doing. So, normally when things come to me, it's been escalated. It's at the point where, shit, we need to get dad involved. We can't deal with this. It's one of those things. Don't get dad involved unless you really need fucking dad involved, because it will fucking go through the roof. That's normally what happens, and most people will be like that in work. There's people around me. I get reputations most of the place. Like, don't fucking show this to James, because it'll go fucking through the roof, and he'll fucking chuck everything at you. So, that's just because I like to be thorough. I like to be evidential. I like to provide everything. So I like a good debate. I'm a master debater. So for me, it's kind of, I enjoy, and I enjoy confrontation. That's what I do. That's the type of person I am. It sounds sadistic, but I really am. But yeah, so going back to the story. Yeah, so I'm not the popular one, so they wouldn't want to lie to me. They might want to lie to my face, sorry, but they wouldn't lie to their mum. And, that's a really important part. We've raised them, is like, literally, you tell mum absolutely everything. And if it's day-to-day stuff, and then normally we'll download between us and stuff like that, we'll support each other. But it's only really if I need to know that I need to know. But every time, back to it, 100% of the time I've been right. And that's my confidence in my ability. So as I've walked around the rooms, I've seen how I want the rooms, and I've looked at my daughter's characters, I've looked at how they've been raised, and I've looked at what paths they've gone down, etc., etc., but what their true foundations are. Now, all of my girls, their true foundation is they are all very princessy style girls. They're that sort of style. They haven't gone down I mean, I know that my eldest is a little bit into R&B and stuff like that, but they've all got their own. Foundation wise, they're pink, but modern pink. So like I said, I've been around every single room. I want the kitchen like this. I want the bathroom like this. I want the bedrooms like this. I want everything. That's how I want it, and it make me happy. That's very one-sided. But at the same time, I'm so confident that to make it perfect, that it will make other people happy, because I have a confidence in my ability to do that. That's what I do. It's what I do with art. I do things to make people happy, because making people happy is what in turn makes me happy. When other people aren't happy, I get stressed. And that's what we've actually realised this last couple of days. There's been quite a bit of pressure on me, because I like to get everything perfect. Right down to the point that I know the distance in the walls, in the lines in my walls that I've created, and they're 22 inches. The other one's 27 and 24, and I know that because, and you could say, well, he's just chucking fucking numbers out there. Yeah, I could. Well, believe me. But I've got it pinpoint accuracy all the way across, because that's the perfection I wanted to achieve. And I was like, I don't want to decorate these rooms ever again. I want them perfect. I know their characters. Let me roll with their characters. Let me do what I do. And it's turning out fabulous for them. I mean, we finished my first daughters yesterday. That was absolutely, I'm exhausted doing all this, because I'm working and I've taken 2 days off to try and catch up with this stuff, to try and keep on top with my artwork as well, which I'm really into, but the thing is I'm making the art, but I'm not doing the social media side of things. And it's just, I'm neglecting a lot of things, actually. And what I've been doing is hyper-focusing on the wrong fucking things. The things that are stressing me out, because I want them perfect. But I'm trying to get something that would take, average Joe Blogs 2 weeks to make perfect. Maybe a little bit longer, I'm trying to do it in fucking 2 days. And that's like, the level of perfection is barbaric on my brain. So I said today, we went into town, picked up some bits, and I was like, my head's a fucking mess. Like, genuinely is a mess at the moment. I've almost been feeling like it's a new feeling, but just overwhelmed with noise, overwhelmed with not being able to relax, just absolutely fucking bonkers. I've not been walking, I've been eating unhealthy, I've been trying to do bits, and this is all in fucking 8 days since 9 days since my last podcast. I think it was 9 days, because I was told categorically by Nelly. So it's just a bit of a crazy one. It's just been fucking mind-boggling, and it's really interesting how if you don't look after yourself, how quickly things snowball. And it's like, I just sat there and people were like, where's your podcast, James? Your routine is your podcast. You do it on a Sunday. It helps you mentally. It does. And here I am now on Wednesday, fucking 3 days late. And the other time was I didn't do anything during the week, because just been so much pressure through work, through life, that it's just consumed me a little bit. But I've not been doing all this shit that I've been talking about. the thing that I will always gear back to is mental health is a fucker. You can't predict how to manage it. You can't predict. It's almost like, and this is where I'm learning more, I suppose, about the ADHD. So with the ADHD, you tend to get hyper focused. So what happens is with ADHD is I lack that dopamine. So I search for dopamine. That's basically what it is. I'm a dopamine hunter. So when I find something that gives me that dopamine rush, I'm in. I fucking and if you watch me today, what I did. So I lacquered one of my art pieces, which is a frame and a bottle, the smashed glass ones. I painted the final coat on my 3D artwork that I was doing. I've decorated, masked and painted and filled all the walls in the bedroom and put it completely together, cut the fucking desk up to make a bespoke desk. And even that just sounds exhausting, but that's what I've done today. And here I am now trying to relax and do a podcast. I've not drank properly in terms of, looking after myself. I've not sat down. I lived on a picnic all day, and I didn't stop for almost 12 hours. And I genuinely mean I didn't stop. I was constantly doing stuff in between. Finishing one artwork. I've still got to do the artwork that I've got to get to print tonight to get into the artwork. And, these are just, it just consumes you. And sometimes, and people are like, well, that's why you need to fucking slow down. And I do need to slow down. I absolutely do. And that's the problem with I suppose, the dopamine bit is you search for constant bits, but it's exhausting. Like now I'm exhausted. I can feel the exhaustion as I talk to you, and I'm kind of relaxing a little bit because I always talk, being open and honest is what this is about. It's understanding what's going on in your mind. It's understanding how quickly your mind can snowball and how quickly you can focus on things, or you might be the complete opposite. You might be in the spectrum where the depression stops you doing any of that, but it's on your mind that you need to do that. And that's another kicker in the dicker, is those sorts of things. Is you sit there and I've walked past stuff for months and I've gone, I need to do that. It's like I needed to do, there was a crack. So we got this, the old porcelain throne, the old toilet, the cistern on the back, and it's got this ceramic heavy lid. And unfortunately, something dropped on it. This is about 5 years ago, probably about 5. Yeah, it's about 5 years ago. I was away when I was going through my depression and fucking just being a knob. And my wife decided to do the DIY bit. And I'm not slagging women off at all. However, and I will caveat that with the way that I'm going to present this. So yeah, she put a shelf up. She came in and she was all fucking happy as Larry. Look, I can do, I can do man stuff. And I was like, oh, fucking fabulous. It looks absolutely fucking brilliant. Well done. I said, did you use the right roll plugs and everything, wall plugs and all that? And she was like, yeah, I used the right wall plugs, the ones that Mum gave me. I was like, oh, fucking brilliant. Well, I'll be fine then. Fucking 2 weeks later, it dropped with everything on it and smashed the ceramic fucking top lid into like this really unusual crack. But it was weird. But we left it. It was almost because it's ceramic and it was quite thick. We managed to stick it to get, like, not stick it, but we actually did. We put sellotape on it for like 3 years. Literally fucking sellotape on it for 3 years. What a fucking loser. What a fucking loser. I was literally for fucking 3 years put sellotape on it. See through sellotape and no fucks given. This is the problem. Now no one else can fucking do anything about that. My wife could probably do. In fact, she did do some research for it because she broke it, and I was like, "Well, I didn't fucking break it, and you didn't tell me to put the fucking shelf up. I would have put the shelf up properly. I would have used different roll plugs because she didn't use plasterboard roll plugs, etc., etc., etc." But kudos on having a fucking dabble. But you fucked up. You fucked up the ceramic lid. We went to look to get one, and because the housing markets, what they do is they get smaller and smaller. The cisterns now, it's like a 12-year-old house, and you can't buy them. So to get one on eBay was like 220 quid. And I was like, I'm not paying 220 quid for a shitter lid. You can fucking jog on, mate. It's going to stay like that. So it did. For, like I said, 3 years of sellotape on the fucker. And I kind of, left it. And anyway, I went and got this Gorilla Glue. And I was like, fucking Gorilla Glue is this amazing shit that just sticks shit to everything. And I was like, it says ceramic. It's fucking going on, big boy. So I fucking laced it in Gorilla Glue, and it fucking stuck like a dream. And then what I did was there was obviously a little ravine, if you like, in the crack. But I wanted to use this. I've always wanted to do it. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the Japanese concept. So the Japanese concept is, bear with me a second, I am talking to you. But the Japanese concept is, with a crack, is to gild the crack and then lacquer it. So you glue it, gild it, lacquer it. And then basically it's a way of not throwing things away, which we're trying to avoid, and trying to, preserve things. But what they do is, the Japanese have this absolutely incredible art of making things look pretty even though it's broken. So they do it with their cups. So have a look, and if you see Japanese broken cup, and it'll be gilded, and it'll be gilded in gold, and it'll look pretty. So I wanted to do this. I was like, it's a fucking toilet lid, mate. So I'm just gonna resin the ravine to make it clear. Then I glued it. Then I gilded it. Then I fucking re-resined it, and now it's got this beautiful, I think it is, but again, I'll send some fucking photos around and see if people fucking think the same. I'll chuck it on fucking Facebook. And but it's I think it's pretty. I think it's all right for it was 220 quid. I just gilded it, which is this new thing art form I've learned, gilding. So it's not particularly hard. It's but to get it right is a bit of a skill, because if you don't put the glue on in the right pattern, it does look a bit shit. I found out, trial and error. That's the way we learn, isn't it? So so I put a bit of gild on it, and there we go. Fucking job done. Save 220 quid, and I've got to put a bit more art in my house, because fucking everywhere is riddled in art. Anyway, so that's my intro. That was my little tiny I'm fucking crazy. Before I break into a bit more, I want to give a couple of little shout outs, actually. One's something because I'm talking tonight, and it just happens to be one of my good friends, the Banterman Billy, who normally comes on, does a podcast with me. We need to lock that in. We do need to lock it in. But I want to say congratulations to him, worldwide, well known. He's in the Army Air Corps, and he's just made warrant officer. So absolutely fucking commendable. Like I said to him, nice job. It's well overdue. Well done, well overdue is what I said to him, because it is. He deserved it a long time ago. Absolutely amazing at his job. Absolutely thorough. He's a military thoroughbred. So absolutely commendable job. And to get to the dizzy heights of warrant officer, absolutely fucking fantastic. So I'm super super excited for him. And that's just a nice positive note, isn't it, to start 2023 with, where your men's mates, men's mates are pushing through. Goes to show he's still driving. He's still staying positive, even though he's been knocked back over the years for promotion and worked fucking tirelessly. Done things, been to places he shouldn't have had to go to get promoted, to, tick the boxes. He's done all of that. And, so to finally get it, great job. That's a really commendable thing. You must celebrate things like that. I believe he's celebrating tonight. So have a cheeky one for me, for the Billster. And, a good shout out to him as well. And, everyone else. And like I say, big shout out to the boys as well. The other boys, Nelly and fucking I was going to say Hank. It's Bill, Kieran, and my brother, Dad. All these little family members that listen along to this. Hope you're all okay. And we're going to catching up. Do you know what's been really nice, actually? The last couple of days, the sun's been out. It's been a delight, an absolute fucking delight. Right, so I want to start off quickly, actually. And it was something I wanted to talk about. It was an interesting thing, and I think it's about perception, if I'm honest. So I put a post up the other day. In fact, my friend Kieran came around on Friday. We had our first shindig this year, his first drinking sesh of this year, because he did dry January. I didn't. And he came around on the Friday. We had a fucking absolutely fucking wild. It was hilarious, actually. I was laughing my ass off from 5 o'clock when he arrived till fucking like 11:30 when I put him to bed because he couldn't fucking stand up. We were doing fucking shots of sours. It was really fucking good night. Really good download, actually. And anyway, he's he came round. We had a good time, and we were sort of catching up. But what it was we had an interesting. So when we were sort of chatting away, we were just having a good night, and I said this little thing, and it was something I'd read during the day, and I put down. And this, I suppose, it depends on your perception. This is why So keep in mind your perception of what your first thought is when I say these lines, okay? So just remember that the average person has 78 Christmases. So the average person has 78 Christmases in their lifetime. So when you take that in, and your first thought could be, and this is where I think if you've got, that's quite depressing. Oh my God. And then all of a sudden you think about your age and you think, fucking hell, I'm 41. I'm 42 this year. So, you know, if all goes well in my life and I don't fucking get struck down early by some fucking sort of infection or disease or whatever the fuck's going around at the fucking time at the moment, the best part you get is 78. I've had 41 Christmases I've had, so you know, that's quite depressing, isn't it? However, I didn't mean it in that context, but when I put the post up, because I was quite proud, I thought that was it was almost like a shock factor for me. It was almost like, fuck yeah. And the way I get, so to give you my perception, the way that I thought about it was, my first thought was, fucking hell, I've had 41. If I've not, you know, at best, I've gone over my halfway, so I'm over halfway of my Christmases left on this fucking lowly fucking planet with this core that is stopped and maybe going into reverse, and fucking everybody wants to fight everybody in 2023. It's fucking crazy. And you think to yourself, oh, fucking hell. So I was like, fuck, I really want to, like, it made me stronger. It made me want, like, to get more money, to pay things off, to not rely on the money. Do you know what I mean? It was like, just fucking get cleared with things so I don't have to rely on money. You know, I've had deep conversations where I've gone, I'm going to Canada, like literally to the point where the way the world is going at the moment, and everyone, even my doctor was like, you know, James, Canada's no better off than it is here. I was like, no, but I don't want to be to Canada, go to Toronto. I want to go in some fucking forested area, mate, build a fucking house and just not rely on anybody. I want to go back to candle lights. That's where I want to go, killing my fucking food and eating it. I want to just go back raw dogging it. I'm not fucking around with this shit anymore. I don't want the rat race of life. Bullshit to it. You can fucking suck a dick. It's fucking hurting me. Anyway, so I was kind of like, you know, so I thought of it as like, give me a spur on, you know, get me fucking going. Like, yeah, fucking hell, get some drive in you, James. Change your perception. Start investing your money. You know, start working towards your fucking pension. Get your bonuses in. Work hard in work to get a bonus. Get this fucking shit down. Start traveling the world. Start making memories. Do it as quick as you can. That's my perception. Now, I can obviously go, that's probably because I'm trying to be positive of recent. I'm trying to be positive. I was in a very good place in the time when I read it. It was a Friday morning. I knew I was having a bit of a shindig with my best mate. I felt in a good place with work because I just chinned it off, you know, and I was like, fuck that. I can't, you know, it was kind of like, I was in a good place. So I knew I was just going to go out, and we went to fucking Spoons, had a good meal, a couple of pints, and then come back and just fucking absolutely fucking smashed it, playing fucking Jenga and everything. It was a good fucking night. It was a proper bar night, you know? And, yeah, so I was in a good place. So that's my perception. Now, when I read some comments in the morning, was like, fucking hell, well, actually, it wasn't actually two. I got 2 comments and then deleted it. One comment was from my dad saying, Christ, son, that's a bit... I'm 70 this year. I was like... Yeah, okay, I didn't really think about that. That's really highlighting the fact you've got 8 years potentially left in your life. But, you know, okay, I get that. And then the other one was from my mate, my new colleague at work, Mandy. She was like, James, that's a bit depressing for this morning. And I don't know, I didn't look at it like that. I really looked at it as a positive light. It'd be interesting to know what you thought about that. Did you think the same things as me? Or did you go, fucking hell, and really start hitting home? Did it hit home in a good way? Did it drive you to go, fucking hell, mate, that's really, yeah, it's a little bit fucking of an eye-opener. You know, shit, I need to pull my finger out. Am I happy? Because sometimes we need that. We need that knee-jerk reaction, don't we? There's a lot of us sit in comfort zones. I know I do. I know we all do. I know we sit along in comfort zones. We fucking bumble along. I mean, most of our relationships are built on sitting in front of a fucking... a square TV or rectangle TV, fucking depends on what you can afford, and just sitting in front of it and wasting your life with this person in front of a fucking TV series. That's what we're all doing. We're not exploring. We're not going out for walks together. We're not, we're not being adventurous. There is people that are, but most of us, I can say that if you listen to this, you are one of those people that sits in front of a box and drinks, and that's your life. There is an element of, hopefully you do get out and about, but that's predominantly what a relationship nowadays is built on. It's a really fucking sort of kind of, it's a bit of an eye-opener in that sense. So when you kind of get a knee-jerk reaction to something and you go, fuck me, he is right, that is fucking facts, you've nailed it right down, mate. But I mean, we all prefer the fact that you get an average of 76 years on this fucking world. You go 76 years, oh, that's pretty fucking good. It's not too bad. I mean, I'd love to live a little bit longer, but, if that's an average. But when you put it down to, you've got 78 Christmases, it really fucking smashes you in the face, doesn't it? Because Christmas comes round how quick? How quick do we sit there and wish the fucking months away? How quick do we wish for spring to be here? How quick do we wish for summer? How quick do we ignore people through autumns and winters because we're all depressed and sitting inside and wasting time, wallowing in our self-pity, just going for at least 4 months of every year on my 76 to 78, whatever, I can't remember, 78 I think it is. So we'll say 78, because I said 76 before, that's what confused me. So in our 78 years, or our 78 Christmases, I'm going to ignore people for the best part of 4 months of those. I'll spend a little bit more time through the summer because I'm happy. When you actually put the context into life, when you don't manage your mental health, that's the importance of what's slipping away every time. And that's what I look at now. I mean, I very much look at the last 12 years of my life, 12, 14 years of my life. I've had some good memories. I've had some bad memories. But do you know what is that cripples me the most out of everything? Is the fact that I've wasted those years because I know I've been so fucking sad, and I get them every now and then. I had a conversation actually. My daughter came down last night actually, and she said to me, she just come down. She goes, "Can I just?" My youngest, by the way, she was like 11, I think. Yeah, she's 11. I've forgotten her age. 12 actually. She's not. She's 11. She's 12, and so she came down. She said, she said, James. She said, Dad, why do you get so sad in winter? He said, and I said, what do you mean? She goes, just wanted to know because Mummy told us that you'll get a bit sad and a bit grumpy at the moment because of the weather. You can't get outside. And I was a bit gobsmacked, knee-jerk reaction again. You know what I mean? I was like, fucking hell. And I get grumpy. I get grumpy when I don't do things. I get grumpy when I don't see people. I get grumpy when I don't do things. I'm very team ethos. I'm a real big fucking player in making people happy. I like to watch people be happy. I like to make things work. So I do get a bit depressed because everybody does that. Everyone's got that rhetoric where they sit and they just ignore, and you don't realise how important it is to have these nights. Like when my friend came around on Friday, it was fucking amazing for me because he was on dry January. He was chilling out. He's doing his jobs. But what we highlighted on that night was just how much fucking life is just, washing by. And when you stressing about things all the time, like I have been the last couple of days, I've been stressing like fuck. You just watch your life disappear. And that's one of the biggest things for me is when I cast my mind back is how many times I used to sit there and wallow in self-pity. The times I used to take off sick because I just wanted to lie in bed and be alone. And I did that a lot. People were like, oh yeah, James, you need to go to fucking sleep, mate. You need to go home. Go home and rest, mate. Yeah, what? Go and sit on my own and be fucking lonely in another place, shall I? Do you know what I mean? So you felt bad because you knew you were bollocks. You knew you needed to stay away from people, but it was the people that were perking you up. They were the ones that were making you feel like you had purpose. So it's like swings and fucking roundabouts. And this is where I talk about mental health and saying it's so important to manage it. Like I've been an absolute fucking bellend for the last 3 or 4 days in my house because of the stress of doing this decorating, because I want it to be perfect, because I want her to feel safe and fresh and a new start. I want the house to almost I've gone into this place where I want the house to be completely revamped. I can't change locations because it's fucking nails to change locations and costs a fortune. And part of me was, I want to do this in the house. I want to completely reshape it through design. So I'm like, just let me do this, because this will make me happy, because I know that this will make you happy. And that's followed suit, to be fair, in a nice way. And I know it sounded arrogant earlier, but I didn't mean it in an arrogant way. I do genuinely know what people are like. I'm a very, very, very good judge of character, and I do know what people would suit them, and I tie it into, whenever I make something for somebody, I tie it into how I feel about them, and that level of passion. If I don't, that's what I try and do. I try and incorporate the relationship or the friendship into this bit of art. So it's been interesting, hasn't it? So it's kind of it's been a bit of a weird one, but like I said, it was one of those knee-jerk reactions. And the next day when I took the post down, because I did see it as a bit of a negative when I was on my probably low hangover. When I was on my low, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, I can see how that looks. The fact that two very close, or sort of two close people to me, in terms of my dad and my colleague, mentioning it outright as a clear depression point. I was like, okay, well, I see that. That's not the intention. It was kind of like a fucking go get out there and enjoy life. Get the fuck involved in stuff. If you're not happy, move on. If you want a new job, get a new job. Fucking hell, you sit there and sit in the comfort zone. It was one of those get out the comfort zone knee-jerk responses. That's what I was going for. But again, it's really hard to explain that in text, which is why I don't. Which is why I really, really always now try to video people. And I know that sounds a bit confusing to people, like fucking hell, But for me, you get to see my expression. You get to see the reality, not just go, hi, hope you have a great day, because you could read that if you put down, all right, mate, have a great day. Hope you're okay, and or you read it as go, hi, James, I hope you have a good day. Winning, or win for me. So I don't know, fucking shit like that. I would read it like that because I would be in a depressed mood. So I'd be like, fucking hell. Well, that was fucking pointless. Why'd you write that? Whereas if I got a video saying, wait, all right, fucking mate, have a fucking blinder, you'll put more emphasis into it. You're conscious you're on a video. Even if you do voice text, you can hear the tone pitch changes. It just elevates that mood lifter, that spirit that you get. So yeah, so that's it. It's been a bit of a weird. I'm only cutting it slightly short tonight because I want more energy to do more, and I'm going to do a few more over this weekend to really sort of get into the balls deep aspect of it and get back into this mental health game of mine that I enjoy so much. I do enjoy it. It's a fucking game though. It is crazy. I don't know. Even now when I talk about how to manage things, like I said, what the scary bit is, I just go into this fucking place and I'm like, oh my God, people are stressing me out, fuck you, and I just go like that, and then I shut down and people go, I haven't fucking heard you for like days, or you don't really text, and I'm like, fuck. It's just because my brain is fucking wired. It's literally full moon. It's crazy in there. And I was like, it's only when you finally pull yourself down, you lower your voice, you put your palms down on the table so they're not up. That's a trick I learned, by the way. If you want to seem confident and lay your hands down on the table, and so lay your hands up on the table. It's like a way of inviting in, not down. If they're down, you're empowering. So lay them up and talk in a soft voice, and you kind of go, right then. Now, if you'd have listened to, obviously you should have done, the last 30 odd minutes, I probably sounded in a completely different tone. I was a bit hyperventilating. I just literally a minute ago, this is where my brain goes. You can probably hear it. Is I pulled myself back and I was almost talking from like a foot away because I was so engaged in talking to you that in actual fact, I was in a different place then. That's how weird it sounds. But I noticed just then the difference in how I've started. The middle bit, I got a bit fucking rambunctious, and that's crazy. So I just literally acknowledged that, taking a big deep breath and gone, hi everybody and welcome. See, and that's the this is me trying to get and understand the purpose of talking, and actually talking in a nice calm tone, and just slowing down and enjoying the process. This is what I've got to learn to do, and that's the problem. Is I'm trying to learn that part where I can slow down and keep enjoying the process without trying to get rambunctious. You know, it's one of those almost like a, you know, it's like, no, I can't say that. Actually, it's not. I was gonna say like a fucking, you know, 13-year-old boy finding his penis for the first time. You know what I mean? Get a bit excited. But yeah, it's like one of those things. It's just kind of it's managing your mental health. And really the main reason to come on tonight as well is just to re-engage and hope that everyone's okay. I really do hope that everyone's okay. Obviously, a massive shout out again to my Billy. He's a fucking, my Billy. How weird is that sound? Sorry, mate. My Billy, mate. A massive shout out to Bilster and everyone else, really. Like I said, it's just kind of, I've lost focus. I haven't done TikToks. I haven't done design work and got photos up. I've just been completely kibosh, like literally sideswiped by doing this design work. And it's because I want to make it that perfect. I want to make it perfect for my daughters. I want them to feel like this is a home to them now. You know, we've gone through the stage of sticking fucking, you know, posters on the fucking wall and stuff like that. Let's get it looking nice in there. Made a bespoke desk for my daughter and everything. So really, that's the stress bit. That's the stress bit for me, is I want it to be perfect for them. That's the dad in me. That's the dad that's acknowledged that sometimes I make mistakes. Most of the times I make mistakes. But at the same time, we're only human, and you know, all of this is encompassed in, you know, like I said, the topic today was your perception, really, in mental health, and it's really interesting on how you perceive things, and that goes with everything. All these things work. It depends on how you perceive things, how you engage with people, how do you communicate. Do you do everything by email and fucking text messages? Well, if you do, then you're not going to get anywhere. Voice to voice, face to face, that's where it's at. You know, being open and honest about your mental health, like all the way today. Even today I was like, right, I don't mean to be fucking rude, but everyone needs to fucking go, like, leave me for like an hour to do this on my own. And they were like, well, do I want to help you? No, because I'm a knob and I'm in a fucking stupid place. I know I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it because I want to do it, and I want to fucking basically put myself in agony to do it. I'm going to struggle to do it because I'm going to fucking basically punish myself. That's what I'm doing, because I don't want to escalate my voice, which is where I vent from, and target people around me, because I don't want to do that. And whereas before with my mental health, and this is where we acknowledge development. We acknowledge the fact that by gripping our mental health, and this is like a live example, really, actually, it's a really nice little way to tie this up, is I've acknowledged the fact of what I know what I do. I know how I act. So I know I'm a fucking bellend. I know I'm throwing my hands around like a fucking loony as I keep knocking the mic. I talk with my hands. But I know that I verbalise my anger. So if I can't physically hurt somebody through venting, and I've got a lot of anger and I'm trying, but if I can't do that, which I know as a human being, morally, I can't do that. So I've never gone down that route, and I will, you know, obviously caveat that with this. I know, I know now. So I don't turn to the maturity aspect of life comes along as well. Bearing in mind, I'm a fucking, you know, I'm almost 42. I don't want to be fucking throwing down anymore. I'm not interested in throwing down. So it's kind of, you know, for me, it's because I can't do that as a man. What men tend to do then is either go to, you know, they normally go to the gym and get that, use weight training. Well, I can't because I can, but I've got to scale that down a little bit because of my fucking stupid back, which I'm trying to repair through yoga. So I've got to take it easy. So all of these things, when you don't grip them, they all fail. But what I've done is I've acknowledged, and I say to people, like, look, I know I'm going to struggle. I'm actively telling you I'm going to struggle, but please just leave me alone. This is because what I'll do is I'll target you, and then I'll fucking drop a screwdriver, or I'll, like I did, I marked the wall. Excuse me, they'd been freshly painted, and I was like, That's your fucking fault for fucking standing there. You fucking did this with your fucking, your gnarly eyes. I'm sat there, like, literally to the point where I'm like, it's your fucking fault. You went to the shop at fucking 2 o'clock yesterday, and I told you fucking 1 o'clock. If you would have done that at 1 o'clock, I wouldn't have smashed the fucking wall in now. That is what I do. People can look at me in fucking disbelief and go, this guy's fucking crazy, mate. And I'll be like, yep, I fucking am. Because that's what I do. I punish myself. I beast myself. I hyper-focus on work. I hyper-focus on perfection. Because we're decorating fucking 3 fucking rooms at the moment, it's fucking crazy. And not through me, by the way. I will caveat that as well. A lot of caveating going on today. When you do something nice for one of your daughters, which obviously the main focus at the time was revamping Ellie's room. I wanted it to be perfect, because not just because of what had happened, but because she's got the smallest room, and I wanted it to make it look fucking big. So I was like, big mirror, widthways, everything was white with a nice fucking fucking whatever, marshmallow fucking pink roof ceiling on it, and everything was all thought about, perfect, literally perfection. And it does. You walk in the room and it feels double the size, believe it or not. So that was where my focus point was. But when you do such a good job, and these people know that there's in line that they're going to happen again. So my other daughters know that we were going to do theirs eventually, maybe start the weekend. Nope, my fucking middle daughter, Tegan, she threw the fucking teddies out the cot, and I know what she's like, because she's got the same mental state as me. Unfortunately, she's very impatient. She wants that now. So today I've bust my fucking balls to get the fucking room to perfection for her, with a few bits to do. So saw a smile on her face. Now I've got my youngest daughter, which we weren't doing a lot with for probably a couple of months, has said, I want a colour change. Luckily, no furniture change. Luckily, I've managed to do everything on the fucking cheap. Literally, it's just cost me paint, because I've reworked everything, and I went and bought some, I've got some second-hand wood, rubbed it down, and fucking made a desktop. You know, these little things, but they all turned out fucking lovely. And just repurposed some bits and looked on fucking FaceBay for second-hand bits, you know, that sort of stuff. So just to make it look prettier, and, you know, it's absolutely sterling job. But the thing is, the pressure you get then, I've now got that pressure. It's like, fucking hell, you've got to fucking achieve, you've got to do this. And I know I've got to do it, but at the same time, I'm like, shit, I've got loads of stuff going on at the moment. It's bonkers. Absolutely fucking bonkers. But what we do is, like I said, when I was doing the DIY earlier, I was like, look, everyone needs to fucking leave me. Or and I'm quite open and honest about it. I say, look, just need a little bit of fucking space. Or I say, nah, I'm not interested in talking right now. And I'll actively walk out of a situation now, or you know, walk away from a situation. I have to, because I know where I go. And that's the maturity aspect. That's that development thing we talk about. I know now to tell people, please step away, leave me. Come back when I've calmed down. Maybe that, I'll say an hour, but it might be 2, it might be 5 minutes. I don't know. Maybe it's just a fucking absolute, I've got it bubbling up, I can feel it. You know, you need to just fucking leave me alone. So that's that control, that maturity, that development. Key fucking amazing words. But you need to stick to your foundation rules. And my foundations of what I enjoy. I enjoy doing the artwork, but not rushing it. I enjoy doing my podcasts. I haven't done any, and that's really impacted on me. I've not sat down and chilled in my man cave for, you know, a week, and, you know, chilled out with some music, and just, I haven't done any of that. I haven't taken the dog for a walk for 2 fucking days, because I've been so hyper focused on the fucking rooms. I've not done the things that I need for my well-being. And then all I've done is I've gone into fucking dad fucking man mode, and I've just gone, right, that's it. Fucking paint everything. I want that there, regimented, structured. I'm not eating, I'm not fucking drinking. I'm just going to fucking go for it. And that's where I've done. I've gone into, and how many of us do that? How many just go, right, fuck, and then you burn yourself out? And then if you've not mastered your mental health, or looking after your mental health, how many of you exploded and gone fucking, rah, it's your fucking fault, you fucking prick? And how many times have you done that? Smashed fucking glass on the floor, whatever. Lashed out, I don't know. But because you didn't put the fucking mitigations in, the fucking stop signs to warn you, and didn't do what you should be doing. And I'm a guy that talks about this fucking weekly, and I still slip up. So you need to manage it. If I'm managing it and slip up, what the fuck's it going to do if you don't manage it? You're just fucking slipping around. You might as well walk around on fucking bananas, mate. Fuck them. Just slip and slide, baby. Grease me up and fucking slide me around. Anyway, I'm going to fucking stop there because I digressed a little bit, didn't I? Lovely to talk to you. Like I said, voice, persona, perception, key fucking words, people. Love it. Get involved in that sort of stuff. How would you see? Have a little think about what I said as well. Have a little think about that. Just see what sort of mood you took you in. And then, because I've given you the little bit, have a little think on looking at the alternative way, my way, or the opposite way if you saw it my way to start with, and have a think about it from a depressing point of view and how low you could be if you've got the wrong perception. Especially if you've got the wrong perception, you might be able to tie that in with a relationship, a friendship, a text message, whatever, a situation. Maybe your perception's wrong. Maybe your perception's right. And the other person's is wrong. Give yourself that reinforcement, that reflection. Get involved in those things. By reflecting on yourself. These are all these words. I jazz them up all day long. Oh shit. I beat the fucking drum. I beat the drum every time about this. So it's really, really key. I didn't realise the springs vibrate like a fucking mofo. All key words. All key words, okay? So I'm going to leave you that. A little bit of food for thought there, you know? Good fucking burger for the brain. And I look forward to talking to you again very soon, my little delights. This has made me feel great. It literally has calmed me right down. I've sat down for the best part of 45 minutes, so my old cripple fucking back's going to absolutely collapse when I stand up. But, you're worth the pain. So, keep strong, keep focused, and here we go. Development is working for us. 2023 is our year, baby. Let's get involved. Let's start enjoying life. Let's get on a track to sorting things out. Let's start mucking in with our friends. Let's give ourselves the spirit and the perception that we need to go forward with some fucking good spirit. Take care, everybody. I love you all millions. I'll speak to you soon.